Today's yoga, if you would just like to start in a seated position, so as always, any seat that feels most comfortable to you, and just begin with your hands in any position that you feel serves you today. So whether that's maybe palms up on your knees, if you're feeling you need a bit of openness, a bit of energy in, whether that's bringing them together in your lap, bit of grounding perhaps, or maybe even taking thumb to first finger, feeling that inner connection of energy. But whatever option you're choosing, bring your eyes gently to close. Start to listen to your breath, the inhales and the exhales. Notice what the mind and body are telling you today, are telling you about what you need. And start just to lengthen through the spine, grounding down through the sitting bones. Noticing the expansion of the chest, the belly. Breathing in clean air and energy. Exhaling anything that doesn't serve you, just letting it go. Maybe bringing in that audible breath. Inhaling, breathing in, lifting through the spine, through the chest. Exhaling, dropping the shoulders, dropping any tension. Repeating again, breathing in. Exhaling, sighing out. Maybe at this point, engaging your Ujjayi breath, that slight constriction in the throat. That will mean when you breathe in through your nose, you can create that soft sound at the back of your mouth, allowing you to anchor in to the breath for the next hour. And today we're going to be just bringing one of the Yoga Sutras to mind. This is the 24th Yoga Sutra of Book 3. And it simply states, by Samyama on friendliness and other such qualities, the power to transmit them is obtained. And it's just this idea of purposeful concentration, of meditation on the qualities that we want to bring to ourselves and out in the world. And it's only through careful cultivation of this that we can begin to bring them into our life. And we can practice this starting on our mat in our yoga. So we can all meet in a child's pose to begin today. A nice active child's pose, so really taking your knees out quite wide, walking your fingertips towards the end of the mat, purposefully, mindfully, massaging your forehead into the ground. As always, just dropping any worries or tension, that you might have been holding with you from the day. Listening to your breath. And bring in your mind your reason why you come to practice yoga for the day here. What is it that you are looking to get out of your yoga practice today? And maybe whatever that is, you can bring your meditation, your careful concentration to a specific idea or emotion. And we can begin to just practice transmitting that to ourselves and to others. From your child's pose, just press your shoulder blades back, lift your head, your heart, rise up to a tabletop position. Placing the fingertips nice and wide on the mat, really looking at them, making sure that the weight is even between all 5 fingers, between your left and your right hand. Careful if you're double jointed like I am, you're not sort of bending out, big hyperextending the arms, keeping a nice gentle bend. Breathing in, exhaling. And come to a cat-cow here, arching the back, dropping the head, gaze goes down. Inhaling, gaze lifts, barely drops. Reversing, really pressing through the shoulder blades, dropping the head, letting go of any tension. Inhaling, lifting, gazing up, arching the back. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, arching, really pressing the chest through. Just keeping going with a couple more movements there. Moving the body at your own pace, at your own time. And coming back to stillness before tucking the toes, hovering the knees just an inch off the ground, gazing just in front of your fingertips, all about building strength here, and then pushing up, downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs for your first downward facing dog of the class, presumably of your Wednesday, but I never know. Really just dropping each heel down, finding that soft length through the spine. Taking the time to be curious about each yoga pose. Exploring it like it's the first time you've done it every single time. Again, just find your point of stillness. Gaze to the front of your mat. Walk nice and slowly, feet coming towards the hands. When you get there, we come to our ragdoll. Opposite hands take opposite elbows. Soft bend in the knees. Letting your neck drop. And we nod it yes. Shake it no. Really just to double check if we really are loosening those muscles. If we really are relaxing. Letting go here. And then let your fingers just drop down to the ground. And this time we're going to rise up, but keeping your eyes closed as you do. Vertebrae by vertebrae, rising, 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 all the way up. Keeping those eyes closed as we do, drawing in, drawing up. Taking the palms of your hands to cover your eyes, bringing yourself to complete darkness, bringing that attention inwards, really listening to the breath again, and then taking the hands away, letting the light come flooding back in. Palms go down beside you, facing open to a lovely Tadasana here, a beautiful still mountain. And really keep that commitment to curiosity through each poses. Even with Tadasana, how can we experience it for the first time? How can you check your weight, your posture, your sense of being, what your mind is doing in each pose? So stay here, eyes closed or open now, up to you for the remainder of your yoga practice. Then we're going to inhale, rise the hands up. Exhale, take them back down to your side again. Integrating breath and movement. Inhale, hands go up. Exhale, taking them back down. Inhaling, rising, practicing simple attention. Exhaling all the way back down. This time you might want to bring in a bit of movement into the neck. Inhale, lifting up. Slight back bend, slight arch. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, rising up, arching the back, chest lifts. Exhaling, hands go down to your sides, thinking about the transitions. Maybe adding a final piece to the puzzle, lifting your heels as you rise, embracing any wobbles. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, heels lift, smile comes in, chest lifts. Exhaling, heels go down, hands come back to your sides. We'll take that one more time now. If you're not already facing the front of your mat, standing at the front, come to the front of your mat now. And then inhale, shoot those fingertips up as you ground down through your feet. Exhale, hands go wide, swoop them all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, rise up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Gaze to the front of your mat. Exhale, bow down. Take your right hand down to the right hand side of the front of your mat. Left hand goes down. Each movement carefully placed. Right foot steps back, followed by the left. Chaturanga Dandasana, high plank. Softness through the joints. Strength through the core of the body, really holding this, holding, holding, holding. Exhaling, lowering down to the mat. We'll press up just to a cobra position to introduce those deeper back bends. Exhale, lower down. And then we can press back to downward facing dog any way you like on all transitions. So you might go through tabletop first, tuck the toes, up to downward facing dog. You might, from your cobra or upward facing dog, push up to a high plank first, if you're wanting to sort of challenge it energetically a bit, before lifting to your downward facing dog. You might even skip a vinyasa out, take a child's pose whenever you need one. As always, think of me here as your guide, but you are your own best teacher and know what you need each day. From your downward facing dog, gaze to the front of your mat, drishti tracks forwards, bending the knees, hopping, stepping or jumping, however you want to get to the front. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, bowing down. Inhaling, rising all the way up. Exhaling, hands go wide. Back to Tadasana. Bringing in that word, that idea that you want to cultivate, that brought you to your yoga practice today. And we go through that again. Inhaling, rising the hands up. Exhaling, hands go wide, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands go down to the mat. Step the left foot back, followed by the right. Exhaling, lowering down through Chaturanga Dandasana or knees. Inhaling, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog, however you choose to get there today. Experience the pose again. For the first time, really feel what it feels like to stretch out through the back of the legs. Let go of any tension in the shoulders, in the neck. Before gazing to the front of the mat, bending the knees, hopping to the front, inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, hands go out, taking up space. Back to Tadasana once more. Bring your hands to heart. And cultivate kindness, compassion to ourselves and others throughout our yoga practice. So carry that with you from pose to pose. Inhale, hands still together, lifting them up. Taking that energy upwards, lifting the heart, the chest, gentle back bend. Exhaling, arms go wide, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant at the front of your mat. Right foot goes back, followed by the left. Exhaling, lowering down through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. This time, lift your right leg, point it up towards the ceiling. And then we're just going to bring the knee to nose, really hover it as close as you can get at the front. Engaging through the core, finding that strength. Holding it there as long as we can. Before taking your gaze just beyond your fingers, stepping it through to a low lunge. Once you get there, make sure to kind of find a strong foundation first. Take your gaze nice and soft out in front of you before inhaling, bringing the hands up, lifting the chest, the heart. Exhaling, coming back down, hands to center. We'll come to a twist here. So left elbow goes to front knee, right elbow lifts. We want that sort of nice straight line between leg, arm, top arm. Well, that's the direction of travel, at least as close as we can get that there. Keeping the neck nice and soft. And then either staying here, option 1, or lifting the back leg, keeping it nice and strong and engaged, option 2. Or even opening up the arms, really extending through those top fingertips, waggling your right fingers, giving yourself a wave, staying there. Before exhaling, whatever option you're in, hands going down to the front of the mat, lifting that left leg again, right foot goes back to meet it. Exhaling, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. This time, lift your left leg, pointing it towards the ceiling as high as you can get it, keeping those hips straight, before bringing your knee to nose. Lifting the knee up as high as you can get it, as close to your nose, see if you can touch. Holding it there, engaging through the core, building that strength. Before taking that leg through to the front, lowering down into your low lunge on the opposite side. Find your pose first. Before inhaling, hands lift, heart lifts. Exhaling, hands to center. And we come to our twist. Gazing up to the top elbow. We know our options here, so either staying here, you know what's best for you today. Lifting that back leg, maybe opening out. Right hand going down to the mat. Gaze towards the left fingertips. Keeping those energetics, those lines nice, soft and strong. Then take your hands, bit of a wobble, down to the front of the mat. Left foot goes back. Exhaling, lowering down through Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Couple of big breaths here. Inhaling, lifting the heels. Exhaling, lowering. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering. Gaze into the front of your mat. Bending the knees, hopping, stepping or jumping to get there. Well done. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, arms go wide, Tadasana. Gonna keep going, similar poses, just adding different ones in each time, thinking about how the experience is different, how you can bring your mode of being to each pose. So from here, charge up the fingertips again, ground down through the feet. We're going to lift up the arms, Exhaling, hands going wide, forward fold. We've done this a few times now, but how can you make this forward fold the best one, the most present one you can for this moment? Holding them. For inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, hands going down to the mat. Right foot steps back, followed by the left. Holding our chaturanga before lowering down to the floor any way we want. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Right foot steps through, warrior one. Inhale, rise up, strong through the legs, the core, soft through the shoulders, through the arms. Gazing in front of you, Virabhadrasana 1, opening out, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Make sure your arms are nice and straight. Gazing towards your front middle finger. Holding this strong, energetic pose. Before taking your hands to hips and then rotating your feet so that they're both facing the side of your mat. And then this time, instead of normally at this point, we would go toes in to come to our forward fold. But this time, spread your toes out wide on the mat. We're going to come to a sort of half goddess pose, but with eagle arms here. So taking right arm under left, twisting them round until your palms are as close as they can get to touching. Lifting your elbows up as high as they can go as we sink down into this strong pose here. Maybe even closing your eyes, bringing that focus inwards, bringing that strength inwards. We won't stay here much longer. I know, a tough one to hold. Releasing the hands, rising back up. Taking the hands out wide. We're going to transition to Triconasana here. Triangle pose. So taking your back foot parallel with the mat. Keeping that front leg nice and straight. Feeling like someone's pulling on that left hand, really stretching the torso out, 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 as far as you can go, before letting the left hand go down to the front ankle, calf, thigh, wherever you are. Right hand lifts, gazing up to the top. And as always, we have options, we have modifications. We can stay here, or even here, however we are. Or if we want to challenge a bit more, maybe taking the right hand over, left hand comes up either side of the ears. A tough one to hold, really engaging the core there. For 3, for 2, for 1, and then coming back to warrior 2. Well done. Making sure to find your warrior 2 again. Going to come back to one breath, one pose. So coming to side angle pose. Left hand goes down to the front knee. Right hand swoops under and up. Big inhale here. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Left hand lift. Right drops down. Inhale, straighten the legs. Lift the arms. Exhale, warrior 2. Let's through that a couple more times. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Left hand lifts, right drops. Inhale, hands lift. Exhale, front knee bends, warrior two. One more time. Inhale, extended side angle, swooping that right hand under and up. Think about how we can mindfully transition between each pose. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, legs straighten, arms lift. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Hands go down to the front of the mat. Left foot steps back to meet the right. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to go straight to the other side here. Invite that heat, that tapas. Left foot rises up and then steps through warrior one. Inhale, ground down, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Hands to hips, taking the feet to face the edge of your mat. We know where we're going now, taking the toes out wide, bending the knees. Eagle arms, this time left arm under, right arm over. Wrapping them around just as much as your body allows. Aiming eventually to get the palms touching. Sinking down. Lifting the elbows up. Finding your level of your goddess pose, your strong pose for today, how low you want to take it. But maybe only just a little bit today. Entirely up to you. Listen to your breath. Bring your eyes to close. And then rising out of it. Hands going down to hips. And we come to Triconasana once more. So I know I was opposite side to you last time. So if you've accidentally done one side, we can swap to the other, making sure you're doing it exactly on each side one time. But for this, pivot your front foot towards the front of the mat. Back foot parallel. Straightening out those arms. Pulling, pulling, pulling on the front arm. If that's left or right. Exhaling, taking it down. Feeling like someone is pulling on your top fingertips. So you're really engaging that core, not kind of dumping down here. Feeling the energetics rising, either holding here or taking those hands either side of the ears, challenging yourself there. Holding, holding, holding. For 3, for 2, for 1. Before rising out, well done, warrior 2. Stretching through the fingertips. Big breath. Before coming to extended side angle, inhaling. Exhaling, peaceful warrior. Making sure you're on the opposite side to whatever side you were doing last time. Inhaling, legs straighten. Hands lift. Exhaling, warrior 2. Inhaling, extended side angle. Transition moment to moment. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, legs straighten, arms lift. Exhale, warrior two. One last time, really staying in the moment, in the transitions. Extended side angle, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, rising up. Stretching up before exhaling, warrior two. Hands windmill down to the front of the mat. Left foot steps back to meet the right. And then exhale, lowering all the way down to the ground. When you get there, just shaking out the hips. Moving the body anywhere you need, maybe tapping out the feet. Putting one side of the head down, maybe left ear down. Swapping sides with the right ear. Taking a moment to reset. And we'll actually press back to a child's pose here. But this time, instead of our active child's pose, making it sort of much more restorative, bring the knees in close. Hands go down behind you. And then just reach forward. Forehead going down to the mat. Listening to your breath. Dropping any judgment. Either in your yoga or anything else that might be coming up, just letting it all go. Take the hands back up the mat. Going to press through tabletop position. Coming back to our more active poses. Inhaling, lifting up. Downward facing dog. Bending the knees, hopping them towards the front of the mat. We'll play around with a few balances here, and this time we'll start in Utkatasana, chair pose. Taking the hands to the heart. Come into a twist. Left elbow goes down to the right knee. Gazing up towards the right. And the balance here comes with seeing if we can play about with lifting that left leg up off the floor towards your bum. Holding here. Seeing if with a bit of fun, a bit of play, we can extend that out. Come into a high lunge. Drop it down, trust your foot will land in the right place. If it doesn't, we try again. Inhale. Hands go up. Exhaling, taking them back down to the front of the mat. Keeping that right leg at the front. We're then going to lift the left leg up towards the ceiling, coming to a half split here. Standing half splits, and just see kind of how high you can lift that left leg. You might keep your hands on the mat. You might have a play with holding your calf. Balancing here. Playing with the balance. Before taking hands back down. Left leg goes down. Right foot joins it. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Gazing to the front, bending the knees, hopping, stepping or jumping. Inhaling, rising up straight to Utkatasana again. Choosing how deep we want to go. Bringing your kindness, your cultivation of whatever energy it is that you want to bring back today. Hands going to heart. Right elbow goes down this time. Left elbow lifts. And again, playing around. Can you lift that right foot? Getting it as close as possible to the bone. Holding here. Or extending it out. Trusting it will land back in your high lunge. Rising up. Exhaling, hands going back down. Left foot meets the right. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up to the ceiling. And we'll bring it through to pigeon pose here. So taking right knee out to the front. Stretching your left leg out. Inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, bowing down. Using your forearms perhaps as a pillow. And just sort of sitting with this pose. It's one that can sometimes allow a lot of emotions to come up. So watch yourself here. Thoughts come in, welcome them in, and then let them go again. Pressing up through the hands. Either holding here or bending that back knee. Lifting the left arm. Seeing if we can take that back foot. Still gazing forwards. Exhaling, taking it back down. Planting the hands. Right foot steps back to downward facing dog. Pedaling out the knees, moving any way you need. Before changing to the other side, inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bring it through pigeon on the left hand side. Taking that left knee out as wide as you like, because often that helps if you get any sort of soreness or tension through the knee. Stretching that right leg back as far back as you like. Inhaling, chest lift. Exhaling, lowering down. Just sinking into the pose. Be here for 5 deep breaths. So do adjust at any point if you need. And just watch what happens. Rise the chest back up. Maybe you're opening your eyes if you had them closed, letting in that light and dark. Inhaling, chest lifts. Maybe experiment lifting that back leg. Right hand lifts, seeing if we can take that back foot. Even experimenting, if you can get it in your hand easily, trying with the elbow as well. Feeling that intensified stretch in the back leg. For releasing it, letting your weight come onto the left side and just swinging your legs through. So you're sitting, feet in front of you, wiggling out the knees. Inhale, really lift your hands up, stretch them to the ceiling, stretching the core. Exhale, forward fold. Letting your hands go wherever they naturally land. Focusing on length through the spine here. So if you need to bring a bend into your knees to get your torso closer to the thighs, then do that. And then over time, you might work to straighten them a little bit. What we want to do is sort of avoid this over bending in the back. So wherever you are, that helps you keep the spine nice and long. Stay there. With every breath in, we lengthen. Every exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, folding. Going to come to a seated twist here. So taking the right knee, bringing that leg up over to the outside of your left leg. Keeping the left leg either straight or often it's nice to sort of bend it round. Inhaling, left arm lift. Exhale, elbow goes down. Pressing that knee round as you twist towards the back of your mat. Just like a forward hop fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Keep breathing. Keep listening to your thoughts, your body. Coming back to center. Unraveling the legs. This time bending the left knee. Thinking about how we can even transition moment to moment in more sedentary poses like this. Each movement mindful and focused. Bringing your right hand up. Elbow goes down, pushing that knee outwards. As left hand goes back to the back of your mat. Twisting from the lower back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Noticing the breath. Notice if you're still holding any tension in the shoulders. I felt like I was just then, so just rolling them back, letting that go. Coming back to center. Taking the legs out wide. And then we'll all come to one inversion to finish the practice today. And I know all of you here are experienced yogis now as well, so it's completely up to you what you want to do, as long as we get the sort of hips slightly higher than the heart. So you might even, a bridge is a form of inversion, bringing the hips up, pressing the shoulder blades in. You might play around with that. Maybe waterfall. You might play around with a wheel pose or a shoulder stand. Or if anyone's working around, playing around with headstands, progress into that, having a play above. Wherever you are, holding your inversion, feeling that reversal, staying in your pose, for gently, gently, gently coming back down to the mat. And this time we're going to come to our Shavasana here. So grabbing a blanket, socks or jumper if you need. Or if you're comfortable as you are, just making your way to your Shavasana, your time to get your yoga practice to sink in. Your palms upwards, ankles softly falling out to the side, chin gently tucked, neck long. Bring back to your mind the quality that you wanted to cultivate through your yoga practice today. And really play with the word. Bring it to your mind. Notice the individual letters. Does it have a colour or a feeling? What other thoughts does it encourage in your mind? Start to repeat this positive quality. Just quietly, internally to yourself, watching it rise with each breath coming in, and then letting it go again with each exhale. Breathe it in. Exhale it out. Whatever parts you're still holding on to, even that word or quality itself. Finally take one more big breath in. Big exhale, just let it completely go. Shavasana, resting. Start to move your hands, if you've got space, over your head, Stretching through your fingertips, stretching through your feet, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, before rolling over onto one side, left or right, whatever feels better for you today. And then slowly, 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 eyes still closed, making your way back to a seated position. Hands can briefly take any mudra shape that you want. That might be the same as you started this class. It might be a different version. But choose your seated position to end your yoga practice. And then bring your hands to heart and up to your forehead. And with an open heart, an open mind, thank you very much for joining today as always. Thank you. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday evening. For me, at least in Stratford, it's blue skies again. Fingers crossed.